Polish mutual fund market has just crossed 350 billion Polish zloty, which is our record. When we compare that to Luxembourg funds, for example, their assets are at least 150 times bigger. And when we are looking for the flows, it's something untypical comparing to approach in Western countries, because Polish investors mainly focus on short duration bond funds, and Polish investors are not willing to invest in equities, but if they are choosing small portion of thematic equities. How would you explain this phenomena from your perspective, and what kind of next steps you see as a person that can judge that from Western perspective?
No, absolutely. I mean, for us, the Polish market is actually quite important in the Eastern European markets that we cover. And we are quite lucky also to be the second largest cross-border manager in Poland. So, but what is true is true. The Polish investor, they pretty much focus on two things. One is on short-term bond funds, as you say. But the second also, they focus very much on local products from the local asset management community. So the cross-border market in that we play, it's relatively small. You're absolutely right. To be honest, the bond focus doesn't make such a big difference to other markets as well. Take the German market, the Austrian market, they're all pretty much bond investors, if you like. And the recent phenomenon on thematic equities is something that we're seeing since 5, 6, 7 years, which is actually quite prominent, and we are happy to play in that space as well.
Can you give names of these thematic strategies that are being chosen by Polish investors?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we are quite big with the Global Energy Fund, for instance, also the Energy Transition Fund from our funds. But we are also promoting other strategies like the Sustainable Food and Water Fund, for instance, or the Climate Change Fund in Poland.
What is private asset?
Private asset is very simple, assets that are not listed on any stock exchange. So within private assets, you have a few different categories. So private equity is one, which is very similar to equity investing on the public side. The only difference is that this equity is not listed on any stock exchange, but it's a private company. But it's the same structure and the same nature. But then you also have infrastructure, for instance, you have real estate, but you have also private debt.
Okay. What are the benefits of using private debt in the portfolios?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily only kind of drill it down to private debt, but private assets in general. The benefit is that those private assets are not marked to market like public equities, where you have a daily price that is going up and down basically every minute when the markets are open, right? So, and with this, we know that markets can be quite volatile. You have intraday volatility, so going up and down. And when you are an end investor and you look at your portfolio, or maybe on a daily basis, which some investors do, but you have a long investment horizon, you say you want to invest for 10, 15, 20 years, looking at the daily price doesn't really help. With private assets, you probably have a monthly or quarterly valuation, so you have stale prices, and then when the new pricing point comes in a month or in a quarter, that's when then the movement of the prices. So you don't have this intraday volatility all the time. So it can play a major role to stabilize clients' portfolios and to basically foster long-term investing.
Okay, now totally different topic. 3 main recommendations from you to Polish investors and for Polish market.
It's quite simple, actually. Be less local. Try to diversify with more asset classes. Don't just look at fixed income, and in particular short-term fixed income. And also quite popular in the Polish market are money market funds, which are not really money market funds, but also include credit and government bonds and so on. So diversify in more asset classes and diversify more geographically.
Okay, the very last question. Just one answer, because we are making that, for our purpose. one asset class that is getting popular in Europe and it's not present in Poland or it's not visible in Poland?
To my mind, it's really private equity. And we have a range of private equity funds that we could bring to the Polish market and that we're actually planning to do.